So today I'm going to cover our new license plate recognition cameras. So we have two new cameras in our lineup, along with our solution working with the DSS software. So I'll go through some screen captures and kind of show you what our new solution is about within the with the license plate recognition within our DSS systems. Okay. Okay, so first I want to cover just kind of pain points of what customers are seeing right now in the field and how we can help customers overcome these issues. So the first part I want to talk about is within residential communities. You know, a lot of residential communities are gated areas where they have community parking management kind of patrolling the area around at night to make sure everyone who's parked here is a resident or a guest. So here we can help, you know, save the cost of hiring patrol units to do that kind of physical patrol, because with the DSS, with our recognition cameras, we can keep a record of, you know, all the license plates that are coming into the community. We can add them to a resident list, a VIP list, or allow list, as we call it, or we can put them on a block list. So, you know, people who aren't allowed into this area as well. So here we can save, you know, lots of money from patrol units, hiring physical patrol unit people doing the physical patrol. Another issue is within like a retail or hospitality parking. We want to help people, you know, how to help the management enforce the public parking hours. So for an example, we have a few cases here in downtown LA where there's a grocery shop, the grocery market, where they have a garage parking. They only allow 2-hour parking maximum, and they don't want people to do overnight parking. So it's not a gated parking, it is just a parking structure, so it's like a parking garage. So what they do is they currently send a patrol out every few hours to do the physical, you know, checking of if this person's been into this parking lot for over the allotted time. So with their solution, we can help them, you know, cut out all the physical manual labor and kind of do it from the DSS software. That's a case we're working on right now. And we want to have the ability to monitor multiple parking lots with one system in real time. So I can show you that with our DSS software. I'll show you some screenshots of how you can set up different parking lots and see the real-time statistics of, you know, your turnaround rates and how many cars are parked into a certain area. Okay, so this application I talked about just now can also apply to you know, university and campuses, you know, their parking structures as well, as long as retail, office spaces, you know, hotels, and casino parking. And it can also apply to, you know, healthcare facilities with the transit stations. So basically anywhere where you want to control, kind of manage the parking lot system. Okay, now we had two new LPRs released. These are for entrance and exit systems. The first one is ITC 237, and the second one is the ITC 215. Okay, now first I want to talk about the accuracy rates of our LPR here in the United States. So our accuracy rate, as you can see in this the map that's being shown here, the states in the dark green is where we got the most accurate rate. So that's because we've done a lot of, these are kind of like most populated areas that we've been testing. So they have a much greater accuracy rate in these dark green states. And with the lighter green states, we're getting around 98% accuracy. So the more captures we get, the more accurate we can make our software in our firmware to make it more accurate across the board. In the states marked in gray, we're still currently vetting. So we do have systems out there doing testing and getting out the plate captures so we can get a higher recognition rate. Just one note, to achieve all this high accuracy rate, the installation must, you must adhere to proper installation guidelines. So the guidelines include the mounting height, the installation angle, there's a proper IVS line drawing rules, IVS rules, and a proper selection camera. And what I mean by proper camera selection is, we have two models, so I'll go through kind of the differences between the two models we have available. Here in Canada, you're also getting pretty good accuracy rates with the East Coast and the West Coast territories. So 98% accuracy. And the rest of the state territories, we're still vetting. So that's for Canada. Okay, now we offer multiple installation options. So the first thing I want to mention is with both of these models, the model name does have a -B at the end. So what that means is the bracket is included. So this is our gooseneck bracket. You can put it on a wall mount, as shown here, and either you can add it to a ceiling mount, or you can use some of our accessory mounts, such as our junction box or our pole mounts. So very easy installation options. And here are just some photos of our current installations in residential areas across the United States. So you see here the gooseneck bracket just attaches to a steel mount where they have their Ethernet cable running through. So just one community on a pole. Here this is kind of like a ceiling mount sample installation where the customer has installed on a ceiling, taking photos of residents' cars coming through the entrance areas. Here's another example of our LPR camera attached to a metal pole. So for this example, we can use our output system to connect to a barrier gate system, so it can allow it can open up a gate once you have that set up properly. These are just more sample installation videos of the LPR capturing the plates coming into a residential or gated area. So as you can see here, the angle of the camera is pointed down 30 degrees to hit the plate properly. And here's some other examples that our installations have been done in various states. So some places are replacing their older LPR cameras with their new systems. That's why you see 2 cameras here. Some are still being vetted in some of the states. So these are just some more installation examples. Okay, now here's kind of a guideline of our installation angles and kind of its limitations. So you want to have the vertical angle less than 30 degrees, along with the horizontal angle less than 30 degrees. So as you can see here, the plates here, if you have a minor angle, like less than 5 degrees, you will get a huge shift on the angle degree of the angle of the plates. So here's an example of a plate, license plate width. So for US, we recommend 120 pixels, but for like other regions or other international countries, we're using 150 pixels for E. But for the United States, we're using 120 pixels for the best capture rate. Okay, now here's the differences between the two models that we're launching. So the main differences we see here is the detect distance, horizontal detect distance. So for the ITC237, you get a range of 26 feet to 98 feet range, as compared to the 215, which is for a shorter range at 9 feet to 26 feet. That's one major difference here. Now the second major difference is the detect speed. So the ITC237 here can detect speeds of up to 49 miles per hour, and the ITC215 can detect speeds up to 25 miles per hour. We've done extensive testing, and we found that 49 miles per hour is kind of we're being conservative on this number. we've had vehicles come at around 55, 60, and we're still able to capture those plates at an accurate rate. So we're being conservative, but this is just our guideline. 49 miles per hour versus 25 miles per hour. Another main difference is the lens selection. So both of these are varifocal, so they're motorized lenses. The ITC 237 comes with a 10 to 50 millimeter lens, as compared to the ITC 215 that has a 3.2 to 10.5 millimeter lens. Okay, now here's just a screenshot of accurate performance in a raining environment. So we do have concerns from from the northern areas and the East Coast where it rains a lot or it snows a lot. And so we do have good accuracy rates within a raining environment. So this is just an example of the web UI where you can capture. So you can see the plate matches with the recognition readouts. And here's an example of in Europe where they tested it in snowy conditions. So you see there still is clear capture for your recognition. Okay, now one feature and talk about is the multi-snapshot. So this is the ability to take 2 snapshots of car where you can assign that, or you can assign the direction of the car if it's from the front. Depending how your camera is set up, if you want to take front plates or rear plates or both directions, that's what the snap direction is for here. Now max pass time. So this is an example where you set the interval of how long the camera will take a snapshot if the vehicle is idle. So you can set, if a car stops by a gate, they have to wait for the gate to open. So we can set up, if the gate opens within 5 seconds or 10 seconds, you set that threshold. So it only takes the snapshot within that, the max pass time, within the max pass time. Now here is our hotlist control. So this is where we would put our block list and allow list. So currently we're able to have 10,000 allow list or block list, so 10,000 plates within the system. So as I mentioned, you can relay the port. We can route the port to a control barrier, so it's a gated system. So if it recognizes the gate as an allow list, the gate will open up. You can that's how you authorize the vehicle in the allow list. So you have both options, a block and allow option. Okay, now here are many kind of methods of how to use our ANPR solution. So the first option here is just a standalone camera with an SD card. No recorder is needed, so you just add that to your DSS system. Another option is to have an NVR doing the recording and then manage that system with a DSS. Now another option is with a third-party integration. So if you do have third parties, we can provide CGI and SDK, and we can help do the integration with a third-party platform if that's one of your needs. So it's really flexible of how you can install the camera system. Okay, now a few things I do want to mention is the first one is there is no motion detection on our LPR camera. It is constantly taking sensing whether a vehicle passes across the window. So we have some customers asking if you can set it up so it only captures when there's motion detected. So that is not an option. It is a constant recording. Another thing is with our LPR, we do not recognize characters or symbols. So anything with the symbols like a heart or a star, those symbols and characters will not be recognized. So I just want to show an example of a LPR capture within the UI. So let me play this video real quick. So this is the web UI setup. So here we're drawing the snap lines and the recording area. So you see this is all in our manuals So you can refer to those instructions if you are doing an installation. So here you're doing the draw lines and the snap line. You see a vehicle just pass by. And if I go through the live view, you can see the plate matched up, with the plate of the car. So that's an example of our accuracy. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about a demo that we've done within the residential community. So I just want to show some screenshots of how we can help with the parking lot management with our entrance and exit systems within the DSS. So here's just, I'm just going to run through some screenshots. So once you log into the DSS and you have your parking lot, set up. So here's an example of a customer site where they have, multiple parking lots. So this will be a parking lot A, B, C, or D example. You can rename it within the DSS system. So for this example here, this customer has 2 cameras set up at the entry point and 2 cameras set up at an exit point. So we can show that number here. We can also show the total spaces, total parking spaces, and how many slots are available. Okay. And here's another screenshot within the entrance system. So once you click on the entrance, you can do a real-time vehicle monitoring. So the vehicles will refresh on the bottom portion here. So with these vehicles, you can tag them, for the allow list. So the allow list will include a guest, a VIP, a resident. So this 3 will be under that category, and then you can have the block list as well if you want to set that person's vehicle as a block list. So you can see the tags will show up here. If you have the guests, and it shows if they're going in or out. So being captured on which camera system. Okay, another tab here I want to talk about is the vehicle access. So the vehicle access lets you know how many times a vehicle has entered or exited the entrance at a set duration. It has the ability to play back the video to check the results. So for example, if you have a gated community, this kind of captures the vehicle that came in and out at the same day, so that you can have a record of. So it captures the entry point license and then the exit point plate, and that's just one recording, one record there. Another option is vehicle and parking lot. So within this option, you can search how many you help customers search how many vehicles are left in the parking lot. So these are just only ones that come in and have not exited. Okay, and now snapshot record is where you can just do query. So you can do a search from the time you selected, and it just shows all of the gates, all the photos that's been taken at the gates or with the LPR cameras. Okay, now within our event center, you can set up parking overtime alert notifications. So if you set, a period, you can set custom periods from 24 hours to, weeks or years. If a car has overstated its welcome of its duration, then the event center will pick up this alert. So the management will know about this. Okay, now within this bottom tab here, you can allow management to see who is on the allow and block list. So here you can add them to the, you can search, and you can also export the file to like a Excel sheet if you need to review that record. Okay, now here's an example of the parking overview tab. So here you'll see a real-time statistics of how many parking spots are available. So this is updated in real time. You can also see parking statistics, with like an hour turnaround or 24-hour turnaround period. So you can also see parking turnover and the parking use ratio. Now with the chart, you can also look at the numbers of what time, your peak time where we have the most cars being parked and coming in and out. So this is your overview of your parking lot structure. Okay, now this is a compatible backend, so we can use the NVR N52 or N54 series, NVR 6A08, NVR 4216, and our new DSS 7016DR recorder. So these are the compatible recorders. Now with the DSS system, it works with all of our DSS system. So if we can use it with only our DSS software versions, which is the DSS Express or the Pro, or we can use it with the Linux and hardware system, which is at DSS 4004 and DSS 7016DR-S2. So our LPRs are compatible with all of the DSS offerings we have. Okay, now here is the kind of the DSS support, kind of the limitations. So these are the maximum amount of LPRs each system can handle. So I just want to point out for the 4004 and the DSS Express here, these are single servers, so you cannot add master or slave units to these servers. So these are only just one servers. Now with the DSS 7016S2, you can add and distribute more systems together. So the maximum support per system is 320 LPR cameras. Now the maximum with the DSS Pro, which is also scalable, you can add master or slave units and do distributed systems. The maximum of that is the same as 120 cameras. So single server units, your limitations is 32 for the DSS 4004 and 8 LPR for the DSS Express. Those are just the single server units. Okay, now here's kind of what's in the box content. And you get the camera, you get the gooseneck, you get the wall mounts template here, you get your wrenches and your screws and your mounting screws here, as long as camera to the camera mounting screw here. So that would go here. And very similarly, the box content for the ITC215. So the models and the accessories are the same. It's just the different model number and the different detect speeds and detect distances. Okay, now here is a photo of the bottom of the camera. Now this is where you would put your SD card in case you just want to have a standalone system with an SD card recording. You just pop that bottom cover open. And we do also have a reset button, a physical reset button on the bottom of the camera. Okay, now here's the pricing inventory information. So the ITC237, the MSRP in USD is $1,196.99. So we have 42 pieces coming. It should be arriving anytime this week. And those are available. Now for the ITC215, the MSRP is a little bit lower. It's $1,036.99, and that's coming soon. We're expecting in the next 2 weeks. And the firmwares must be upgraded with a new recognition firmware. So these will be posted on the wiki, on our Dahua wiki site, so you can download and upgrade those units.